In the heart of an opulent mansion, a life-altering moment was on the brink of unfolding, one that would illuminate the extraordinary power of compassion and hope. Isabella, the oil tycoon's daughter, once filled with vibrant energy, now faced a staggering reality, paralyzed and confined to a wheelchair. Despite the affluence that enveloped her, her family had spent years chasing empty promises from experts, focusing more on maintaining appearances than on seeking true healing. Yet, within this atmosphere of despair, a devoted maid named Clara emerged, holding a small glimmer of hope. Shaped by her own experiences of loss, Clara formed a profound connection with Isabella, believing wholeheartedly that reclaiming her life was still possible. One fateful evening, as Clara dusted the family library, a place filled with forgotten books and memories, she stumbled upon a hidden letter tucked away in an old tome. This letter spoke of unconventional therapies, hinting at possibilities that could defy the odds. When Clara shared this discovery with Isabella, a spark ignited in her eyes, a flicker of hope that had long been extinguished. But the path to recovery was fraught with challenges. Isabella's wealthy parent, gripped by fear of scandal and the unknown, resisted any notion of venturing beyond their sheltered life. Institutional resistance, rooted in tradition and doubt, loomed large, threatening to stifle Clara's determination. However, amidst this tension, the bond between Clara and Isabella deepened, propelling them to act despite the potential repercussions. Would they dare to step into the unknown, risking everything for a chance at recovery? This narrative unveils the remarkable journey of two women defying the odds, showcasing how a simple discovery could transform their lives forever. Join us as we delve into the power of hope, compassion, and the courage to challenge the status quo. Reflect for a moment. How far would you go to unlock new possibilities for someone you love? In the vast expanse of the mansion, Isabella found herself enveloped in silence that echoed her sorrow. Once a lively spirit, her days were now a monotonous cycle, confined to a wheelchair, where laughter had been replaced by moments of solitude and contemplation. The lavish surroundings, adorned with exquisite furniture and priceless art, only served to enhance the stark contrast of her reality. It felt like a gilded cage, beautiful yet suffocating. As days blurred into one another, Isabella grappled with the absence of freedom and an overwhelming yearning for the life she once cherished. The extravagant parties and social gatherings that used to fill the mansion now felt like distant memories, leaving only whispers of hope that had faded over time. Despite having access to wealth that could afford the best medical care, years of consultations yielded no answers. Experts came and went, offering hollow promises that never materialized, entrapping Isabella in a cycle of disappointment. The family's fixation on appearances overshadowed the genuine need for healing, prioritizing their image over addressing the emotional and physical scars Isabella bore. Yet, amidst this shadowy existence, a flicker of hope emerged through the unwavering devotion of their maid, Clara. Clara's own story, marked by personal loss, fueled her commitment to help those in pain, and she had witnessed Isabella's struggles firsthand. The sight of Isabella's spirit dimming over the years ignited a fire within Clara, compelling her to believe that change was possible. Their bond grew stronger, forged through shared moments of quiet understanding and compassion. As Isabella faced the walls of her confinement, Clara became a beacon of light, reminding her that even in the darkest times, hope could still flicker. One fateful evening, while dusting the family library, a space filled with forgotten tomes and dusty relics, Clara stumbled upon a letter hidden within the pages of an old book. The letter spoke of unconventional therapies, hinting at methods that could unlock possibilities when traditional avenues failed. Clara's heart raced as she read the words, a rush of excitement flooding her senses. Could this be the key to Isabella's salvation? She eagerly shared her discovery with Isabella, whose eyes sparkled with a glimmer of hope for the first time in years. It was a small flicker, but it was enough to reignite a spark of determination within both of them. Yet, as they dared to dream of a different future, formidable challenges arose. Isabella's parent, driven by fear of scandal and the unknown, hesitated to entertain any notion of stepping outside the confines of their meticulously curated life. The institutional mindset that governed their world was resistant to change, and Clara found herself facing pushback not only from the parent, but also from the butler, who staunchly upheld the family's rigid ways. Tension within the mansion escalated as Isabella's condition seemed to worsen, and Clara knew they had to act despite the potential consequences. Time was slipping away, and with each passing day, Isabella's spirit appeared to dim further. In a moment of quiet resolve, Clara decided to gather the necessary resources to explore the unconventional methods outlined in the letter. She employed a symbolic object, a delicate silver key, representing both access and the unlocking of potential. This key was more than a mere object. It symbolized the hope that lay dormant within the confines of the mansion. With each step she took, Clara felt the weight of the world on her shoulders, knowing this could be their only chance to turn the impossible into reality. The first attempt was met with disbelief and shock. Under Clara's guidance, Isabella began to engage in the alternative therapies mentioned in the letter. When Isabella showed the smallest signs of improvement, perhaps a twitch of her fingers or a glimmer in her eyes, the parent reacted with denial, fearing the implications for their reputation. Accusations and doubts created a chasm between Clara and Isabella that had never existed before. The fragile bond they had nurtured began to strain under the pressure of uncertainty and fear. It was heartbreaking to witness, but Clara refused to give up. In the face of adversity, Clara's resilience shone through, and with each passing day, she remained committed to proving that hope could transcend their circumstances. Would they find a way to navigate the obstacles and discover the healing that lay just beyond the horizon? This journey is not just about Isabella's recovery. It's a testament to the unwavering spirit of those who dare to dream amid darkness. A reminder for us all of the boundless potential that resides within our hearts. Clara dedicated herself to meticulously documenting every change, no matter how minor, searching for validation through credible sources. What if this was the breakthrough they had all been waiting for? The days turned into weeks, while the world outside the mansion continued its busy rhythm, completely unaware of the quiet revolution unfolding within its walls. Each moment of progress, however slight, brought renewed hope to Clara. Eventually, their determination paid off as they uncovered a significant oversight within the medical community, a glaring lack of attention to alternative therapies that might have encouraged recovery. This revelation marked a monumental turning point, providing them with the validation they had desperately sought. When Clara presented her findings to Isabella's parent, the initial response was one of outrage, but confrontation soon revealed undeniable evidence of what had been overlooked. A transformation began within the parent's perspective, shifting from anger to a sense of responsibility. It was a pivotal moment that would change everything. As the realization of past neglect sank in, a public acknowledgement was inevitable. The parent offered a heartfelt apology, recognizing the harm caused and committing to support Clara and Isabella on their journey. The once cold and distant mansion began to resonate with warmth and life as Clara's dignity was restored and her efforts acknowledged. Isabella's progress, though gradual, filled the previously empty halls with laughter and connection. The reunion between Clara and Isabella mirrored the initial void, now replaced with hope and possibility. Together, they had unlocked a door that had long been shut. The mansion, once a symbol of isolation, transformed into a sanctuary of healing, proving that sometimes the most incredible transformations occur when we dare to believe in the impossible. The story of Isabella and Clara serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of listening, caring for one another, and embracing unconventional paths amid adversity. As we reflect on this journey, we are gently invited to consider our own lives and the doors we may need to unlock. Have you ever felt similarly? If this story resonates with you, we encourage you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Together, let's continue exploring stories that inspire change and foster understanding, reminding us that compassion and hope can guide us to extraordinary places. As Clara devoted herself to the delicate task of caring for Isabella, their bond deepened in ways neither could have anticipated. The moments they shared, filled with quiet understanding and unspoken encouragement, created a sanctuary amid the chaos of the mansion. Clara's gentle touch as she assisted Isabella with daily tasks transformed from a mere obligation into an act of love, each gesture infused with the hope that flickered like a candle in the dark. Isabella, once enveloped in despair, began to see Clara not just as a maid, but as a confidant, a friend who believed in her potential to rise above her circumstances. Have you ever found someone in your life who inspired you during a tough time? This connection was palpable, a lifeline that would prove vital as they navigated the treacherous waters of societal expectations and familial pressures. At the heart of their relationship lay the fragile silver key, a symbol of both access and the unlocking of future possibilities. Clara often found herself caressing the key, its cool surface reminding her of the pivotal moment when she discovered the letter hinting at unconventional therapies. It was as if that key held not just the potential for physical healing, but also the promise of emotional renewal. Clara would sit with Isabella, the key resting between them as they envisioned dreams of life beyond the mansion's confines. They imagined outings to the park, shared laughter over cups of tea, dreams that felt distant yet utterly essential. Clara frequently encouraged Isabella to dream big, asking her what she would do if she could walk again. What a powerful question, right? It opened the door to hope and possibility, igniting a spark in Isabella that had long been extinguished. However, as Clara and Isabella grew closer, the imposing walls of the mansion loomed larger, rigid with the expectations of the oil tycoon's world. The butler, a staunch defender of tradition, often cast disapproving glances at Clara, as if her very presence challenged the status quo. Meanwhile, the wealthy parent, engrossed in maintaining appearances, remained oblivious to the transformation blossoming within their daughter. It was a classic case of being so wrapped up in the superficial that the true treasure, Isabella's spirit, was overlooked. Clara understood this struggle, having faced her own battles in life. She knew what it felt like to be dismissed and overlooked. Her past weighed heavily on her, a constant reminder of promises made to herself to never let someone else suffer alone. This shared understanding of adversity forged an unbreakable bond between her and Isabella, turning their moments together into a haven where dreams could take root. As Clara began implementing the unconventional methods outlined in the letter, resistance came swiftly. The first attempts were met with skepticism, both from Isabella's parent and the butler, who perceived change as a threat rather than an opportunity. Clara remained steadfast, her conviction unwavering in the face of doubt. Each small success, each flicker of improvement in Isabella's condition, was met with denial rather than celebration. The wealthy parent's fear of public scrutiny overshadowed their daughter's progress. The ramifications of stepping outside prescribed norms sending shockwaves through the household. Isabella's condition seemed to fluctuate, and Clara felt the pressure mounting as they pushed against the current of tradition. Have you ever had to stand your ground against overwhelming opposition? It's a demanding position, one that requires immense courage and resilience. Despite the challenges, Clara found solace in Isabella's small victories. The day Isabella managed to wiggle her toes, a simple act that many take for granted, sent waves of joy through the room. Clara documented these moments meticulously, believing that each detail would eventually serve as validation against the tide of doubt. As Clara continued her journey with Isabella, she found herself sharing notes that captured their progress, emphasizing not just their healing, but the reclamation of Isabella's identity, spirit, and agency. Each interaction was a testament to how far they had come, navigating the complexities of personal growth against the backdrop of adversity. Clara's unwavering belief in Isabella's potential became a lifeline, with every word of encouragement acting as a guiding light. However, the atmosphere in the mansion thickened with tension when Isabella's parent confronted Clara, having overheard whispers about Isabella's improvements. Accusations of fostering false hope and reckless behavior filled the room, and for a fleeting moment it seemed as if Clara's hard-fought efforts might unravel under the scrutiny. Yet Clara stood resolute, understanding that the truth resided not in the superficialities of appearance, but in the tangible transformations she had witnessed in Isabella. This confrontation marked a pivotal moment, forcing Isabella's parent to confront their own fears and long-held biases. It was a reckoning, challenging them to choose between clinging to outdated beliefs or embracing the profound possibility of genuine healing. What would you do in such a moment? Would you cling to your fears or dare to embrace the unknown? As Clara diligently documented Isabella's journey, the evidence of systemic shortcomings within the medical community began to surface. Conversations with credible sources revealed that alternative therapies had often been dismissed, overshadowed by traditional practices that frequently overlooked individual needs. This eye-opening revelation stirred a sense of responsibility within the parent, serving as a wake-up call that compelled them to confront the implications of their previous negligence and the societal norms that had dictated their choices. The once unyielding walls of their beliefs began to crack, allowing for the possibility of change. Clara's dedication not only opened doors for Isabella, but also illuminated a path for the parent to reassess their values. Following this realization, a public reckoning unfolded. The parent, now painfully aware of the harm wrought by their prior inaction, took steps to remedy the situation. A heartfelt apology was extended, not only to Isabella, but also to Clara, recognizing her tireless efforts that had often gone unnoticed. This moment of humility restored Clara's dignity, transforming her from a mere servant into a valued family member. The once cold and imposing mansion began to resonate with warmth, laughter echoing through the halls as the atmosphere shifted from isolation to connection. Isabella's gradual progress blossomed into a source of joy and hope, breathing life back into spaces that had once felt so desolate. In the end, the mansion transformed from a symbol of despair to a refuge of healing. The journey of Clara and Isabella serves as a poignant reminder of the power of compassion and the importance of believing in the impossible. It teaches us that sometimes the most remarkable transformations occur when we dare to unlock the doors of possibility, guided by love and unwavering dedication. The moral of their story is both simple and profound. When we listen to and care for one another, we can create extraordinary change. If you've found inspiration in this journey, consider subscribing to explore more stories that celebrate the resilience of the human spirit and the power of connection. As the weeks rolled by, the atmosphere within the grand mansion began to shift subtly, although echoes of doubt still lingered. Clara, emboldened by the initial signs of improvement she had observed in Isabella, devoted herself to researching the unconventional therapies mentioned in that long-forgotten letter. Immersing herself in the realm of alternative medicine, she uncovered tales of individuals who had triumphed against overwhelming odds, defying conventional wisdom and societal expectations. These narratives resonated deeply, reminding Clara of her own past and the promises she had made to help others find their path to healing. Have you ever felt that spark of hope just when you least expected it? Clara's determination ignited a light in the darkness for both her and Isabella. One afternoon, as she meticulously documented Isabella's progress, she stumbled upon a local community group focusing on holistic healing practices. The members shared anecdotes of recovery that seemed miraculous, each story a powerful reminder of the impact of belief and unconventional methods. This discovery reignited Clara's resolve, fueling her determination to explore these avenues further. She envisioned a future where Isabella could reclaim her strength and independence, where laughter and joy could once again fill the mansion that had felt so cold for far too long. It was a dream that felt within reach, yet the path ahead remained fraught with obstacles. Meanwhile, Isabella's parent, still ensnared in a web of fear and societal pressure, hesitated to fully embrace the changes Clara advocated. Their vision of healing was deeply rooted in tradition, grounded in the belief that only established methods could yield results. This reluctance to explore alternative avenues created tension as Clara faced pushback not only from the parent but also from the butler, who was firmly attached to the family's rigid ways. The butler, a steadfast guardian of the household's reputation, harbored his own fears regarding the implications of embracing the unknown. It was a clash of perspectives that left Clara feeling isolated yet resolute. Could she truly make a difference, or was she merely chasing illusions? In a moment of deep reflection, Clara recalled the delicate silver key, a symbolic object that had come to represent both hope and possibility in her journey with Isabella. Each challenge they encountered reminded her of the doors that could be unlocked through persistence and belief. With renewed determination, she decided to take a bold step by organizing a small gathering to introduce Isabella's family to the community group she had discovered. This event would serve as an opportunity to bridge the gap between conventional and alternative healing, fostering dialogue and understanding. Clara believed it was vital for Isabella's parent to see the faces of those who had triumphed over their struggles, to witness firsthand the transformative power of hope and community. Together, they could pave the way for a brighter future, one where healing wasn't just a possibility, but a reality. The atmosphere within the grand mansion underwent a remarkable transformation, breathing life back into its once somber halls. Clara had worked tirelessly to bring hope to Isabella, and now that hope was resonating in every corner. The soft laughter of Isabella filled the space, a sound that had long been absent, replaced instead by echoes of silence and despair. The delicate silver key, which symbolized not only access but also the unlocking of potential, had become a pivotal element in their journey. Clara stepped boldly into uncharted territory, challenging the norms that had kept Isabella confined, not just in her body, but in her spirit as well. The discovery of a long-forgotten letter had opened doors to unconventional therapies, igniting a spark of hope in Isabella's heart that had dimmed over the years. As Clara meticulously documented each subtle sign of improvement, she faced skepticism and resistance from those around her, particularly from the oil tycoon parent, who initially clung to a desire to maintain their reputation. However, as undeniable evidence of Isabella's progress began to surface, the parents' outrage slowly transformed into a profound understanding of the neglect that had been present and the responsibility that lay ahead. This realization was not just a turning point for them, but also a moment of healing that restored Clara's dignity, allowing her to stand as a beacon of hope against a backdrop of privilege that had once stifled such possibilities. The mansion, which had once symbolized isolation and fear, gradually morphed into a sanctuary of connection, where the family learned invaluable lessons about the power of listening and the importance of caring for one another. As Isabella continued her journey of recovery, the bond between her and Clara deepened, revealing the true power of compassion in overcoming adversity. Clara introduced Isabella to gentle exercises, mindfulness techniques, and dietary adjustments that aligned with a holistic approach to healing. Each small step forward felt monumental, a testament to their perseverance and the strength of their evolving relationship. One evening, after a particularly successful session of gentle stretching, Isabella surprised Clara with a radiant smile, a spark of life that had been missing for far too long. In that moment, Clara felt a surge of gratitude and pride. Could this truly be the impossible becoming possible? As Isabella's strength began to return, so did the laughter that had once filled the mansion. It was a slow, steady process, but each day brought new milestones, and with those milestones came a renewed sense of hope. The weeks rolled into months, and the transformation within the mansion became evident, not just in Isabella's progress, but also in the familial dynamics. The parent, having embraced the journey, grew more involved, offering support and encouragement along the way. They began to advocate for alternative therapies, dismantling the stigma that had once held them back, and allowing for a more open conversation about healing in all its forms. Clara's role in Isabella's life evolved into that of a guiding light, a testament to the power of compassion and the importance of listening to those around us. As the echoes of laughter filled the halls, it became clear that this journey had not just been about Isabella's recovery. It was about the entire family's growth and understanding. The delicate silver key remained a cherished symbol of their journey, a constant reminder that sometimes the most incredible transformations occur when we dare to unlock the doors of possibility. The story of Isabella and Clara unfolded beautifully, illustrating that hope can indeed emerge from the darkest corners, illuminating paths that once seemed impossible. It serves as a gentle reminder that in the face of adversity, it is often the bonds we forge and the unconventional paths we explore that lead us to the most remarkable transformations. As Clara and Isabella continued to integrate these new practices into their daily routine, they embraced a holistic lifestyle that nurtured not only the body, but also the soul. Isabella's laughter became a melody of resilience that resonated throughout the mansion, echoing the profound impact of compassion. The once quiet walls now stood witness to a narrative of healing, connection, and renewal. Each story shared during that pivotal gathering had sown the seeds of understanding that flourished into a vibrant community of support, encouraging others to embrace unconventional methods of healing. Clara's heart swelled with pride as she witnessed Isabella blossom. The smiles, the laughter, and the joy that filled their lives stood in stark contrast to the isolation they had once known. As they navigated this journey together, Clara often reflected on how far they had come. It was not merely about physical recovery. It was about reclaiming life, hope, and the spirit that had been buried beneath the weight of despair. In this mansion, once cloaked in silence, the energy shifted to one of warmth and connection. The legacy of their journey was not just the physical improvements seen in Isabella, but the deep connections forged between Clara, Isabella, and the parent. Each day became an opportunity for growth, understanding, and empowerment. The bond they shared was a testament to the strength found in vulnerability, the courage to explore new paths, and the unwavering belief in the possibility of transformation. As their story continues to unfold, it becomes increasingly evident that the journey of healing is not a solitary endeavor. It is woven into the fabric of community, compassion, and the shared experiences that bind us all. If you've enjoyed this story, consider sharing your thoughts in the comments. Your reflections are valued and can inspire others on similar paths. And if you wish to follow along for more inspiring narratives that remind us of the extraordinary power of compassion and hope, subscribing will keep you connected to this ongoing journey. As we conclude this remarkable journey from despair to hope, let's take a moment to reflect on the profound lesson we've learned, that healing often emerges from the most unexpected sources. It reminds us that true courage lies not only in facing our struggles but also in embracing the unconventional paths that lead to transformation. We invite you to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your voice is an essential part of this collective journey toward understanding and support. Together, let us inspire one another and create a world where compassion flourishes, unlocking our potential and that of those around us. Remember, the most extraordinary stories often lie just beyond the threshold of our fears. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of hope and healing. May it inspire you to seek the remarkable in the ordinary and never underestimate the power of kindness in our lives.